Fire away.
All right, guys.
Yeah, Scott, I guess I'll start. Cameron with the Courier Journal. You watch film from the Ole Miss game. What do you learn specifically on the offensive side that worked in that second half and maybe didn't work in that first half?
Yeah, I think probably the things we did in the passing game obviously worked a lot better in the second half. Taking the things that the defense was giving us in the first half, they were dropping a lot and early on in the game, and we did not take advantage of that in the first half. And then by the second half, you go out there, Malik settled down and receivers started finding ways to get open. We found a couple of ways to run the football, and we got in a better rhythm in the second half. Was able to go down the field and score on all four drives. And, the one thing we still wasn't able to do is get big plays. We had, a few that were over 20, but not many. And I think that was a big part in the game that, what they wanted to do was make us drive the football. They were trying to keep everything in front of them in that, really a 5 DB shell that they were playing back there. And they did a good job with that. They really didn't make too many mistakes defensively. Watching the film from last year, you saw several mistakes that they made throughout the course of their season. And they did a really good job, really nice job of defending the things that we like to do. And, but our guys bounced back. I was proud of the way they bounced back in the second half. And, Cunningham settled in, played a lot better, and, line blocked better. I mean, they're really the whole offense. It just disappointing that it didn't happen in the first half. I thought the very first drive, we had a pretty good drive going in the first, right at the beginning of the game. And unfortunate play on the 4th and 1 we didn't get right there at midfield. And, feel like if you get that, you got an opportunity to go down and maybe get some points on the board. And then right before half, we had another good drive. We get all the way down and inside the 20 and, we mishandled the pitch. That would have been a touchdown. I mean, that would have been a walk-in easily for Hassan. So, those are just misfortune there because that's a 10-point swing. We scored it there, but we didn't. They went down and got a field goal, so that's a 10-point swing. Now you're looking at a different kind of game because we get the ball at the beginning of the second half and go down and score too. So, I mean, but those type plays, I mean, they affect ball games, obviously. And, we didn't have much room for error the way their offense was moving the ball.
Scott, hey, it's Jody Dunley with Cardinal Authority. Did you, when you look at the line, you guys rotated a lot of guys in a lot of different positions, but it seemed like in the second half, kind of the common denominator when you were moving the ball were the two guys that didn't start. Brian and Michael were in there. Did they stand out on tape?
They did. Brian Hudson played really, really well inside. Of course, Gonzalez played well. I mean, Gonzalez really, to me, may have played one of the best games up front, especially since he hadn't played in 2 years. And he's a true freshman. He played a great game. I mean, that – number 7 for them is an all SEC type defensive lineman. He's a really good player, and he held his own against him. And so that was encouraging to see the way he played. He played with a great base, very confident, and he looked like he belonged. And that was awesome to see. That gives us, a couple more guys that can go out there and play. And Brian Hudson's a very strong, solid player up front. He gives you that good size that you need to get some good push. And I thought he played well also. But you're, very correct to say that those two guys, they ended up playing a lot of snaps, by the end of it, and which was awesome to see. I think Gonzalez was over 40 snaps.
Hey, Scott, it's Pat. Hey, Scott, it's Pat Jaggers, ESPN Louisville. You're talking about the offensive line, the different rotation of guys who went in there, and played. But when it comes to, offensively and just the rotation in general, not just offensive line, all the guys that are expected to contribute, how different will things be Saturday against EKU?
Well, that still remains to be seen. I mean, we're sitting here on Wednesday, middle of the week. So, we're still analyzing and looking to see who gives us the best chance to make plays for us outside and in what position that might be. And then also, up front. And to see which guys are going to perform and play the most snaps, and that, just because a guy starts doesn't necessarily mean he's going to play the most snaps either. And, and actually that was the case, Monday, whichever Reed started, but Gonzalez ended up playing more snaps. So a lot of that will be determined, by the end of the week, and we'll see who we want to get out there the most and who we need to try to get the ball to.
Scott, this is Kent with WHAS 11. I know it's a quick turn, but is that maybe a good thing for your guys?
Yeah, I mean, it is in this case for sure. You get to you do miss 2 days. Miss a Monday and a Tuesday type practice, but our guys are anxious to get back out on the field and play. And that's certainly a positive. The fact that it was a game that was going on at midnight on Monday, and you got to play 5 days later. That's not it's hard to spin it in a positive way because our guys are still a little bit tired today. That's a quick turnaround, but they are anxious to get this taste out of their mouth and get back out on the field and improve that they're a good football team and they can play with teams we got to play this season.
But Scott, kind of a follow up to that. How did the short week change your schedule? It sounded like you guys probably had Tuesday off. And as coaches, how do you game plan for that when you're going into such a short week?
Yeah, no, we didn't have any time off. I mean, we came in, we got in at 4 a.m. and we practiced yesterday. It was more than what we normally do for a Sunday practice, and so we elevated that up a little bit. And then today was a Wednesday practice for us. So essentially, we missed the off day and we missed the Tuesday practice. I mean, so we literally did an expanded Sunday practice, and today was a Wednesday practice. Tomorrow's no sweat Thursday. So we're gonna go out and do about 35 minutes of walkthrough stuff. And then, run through on Friday. So we're back to schedule now, but it's just very condensed. It's hard to put a game plan in this short and then really kind of relay that to your players. So you have to keep it simple for sure as we head into this week. And the other thing is I want my guys to play fast and play physical. So you want them fresh, and the best thing to do is not to go as long and not to hit. So we've just been going helmets this week with spider pads on the shoulders, and hopefully we'll be fresh on Saturday.
Hey, Scott. Mike McCammon from Cardinal Authority. After game one, where are you guys, with the wide receiving core? Obviously, a lot of guys got some looks. Has it mixed things up a little bit? And what do you expect from the competition at that spot this week?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's part, the question earlier about who's going to be playing and who's going to be getting the balls. I mean, that's something that we're continuing to evaluate. I thought some of the guys did some good things out there. Watkins is a sure-handed player. We saw that Braden Smith can do some good things. We trust what he's going to do. JJ had a good game, caught 6 balls. I mean, he's going to catch the football when you throw him the ball. We'll see. We'll see where we're at with that as we finish out this week and see where the guys go. They certainly got to play better. We all got to play better offense. We all know that. And, but we got to play fast. We got to play physical up front. When a running back gets an opportunity to make plays, he's got to be able to make plays. I thought Mitchell had some nice runs in that game. I thought Hassan had some nice runs in there too. And then, the safety was coming down screaming, and getting him down. I mean, that's the free hitter. So, we got to be able to make that safety miss at times. Cooley only played 10 snaps, but, he may be a guy that's going to get some more opportunity there. So yeah, I mean, we're still, figuring out who's going to be those playmakers and who's going to be those guys. And, we'll work that out the rest of this week and then see where we're at on Saturday.
Hey, Scott, it's Pat Jaggers again from ESPN Louisville. One of the position groups you guys really don't want to say hyped up is the right word, but, talks about improvements again and again was the defensive line. Yaya Diaby being one of those names that you guys talked about a lot. Were you surprised to see not just him, but the unit in general, to the fact they really just didn't make a major impact in the game on Monday?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we need more push and more impact from the defensive line. I thought Ashton Gillott was a guy that performed pretty well up front. But the way their offense, though, how they run their offense, with the RPOs and the ball, he gets the ball out of his hands quickly. It's tough for the defensive line to get back there. We did sack him twice, I think, with some pressure. But they do have to make plays. They have to be able to get pressure on the quarterbacks and make penetration back there. Causes problems, obviously, in the run game and the pass game. So we got to have more push up front.
Hey, Scott, I wanted to go back to the running backs for a second. Like you said, the safeties for Ole Miss came down really, really hard a lot on Hassan and those backs. Were you surprised you guys weren't able to run the ball a little bit better? I think Ole Miss is loading the box, but they had a 3-man front most of the game.
That's right. Yeah, they did. They had, a 3-man front, 2 backers, and then they had 3 safeties, so they got a deep safety in the middle. You got those 2 rovers that are kind of sitting there screaming once, the ball's handed off, and they did a good job with that. Yeah, I mean, we felt pretty good about being able to run the football. We just never could consistently get it going, because, then once the game, got a little bit, the score got a little bit out of hand there. So, you feel like you're going to throw it a little bit more. And, we ended up being pretty balanced in the run throw, right around 40 each, close to it. But, we felt like we could have ran the ball a little bit better. Would like the wide receivers to block a little better on the perimeter. There were times, we mentioned the safeties, but I think 4 times we got a guy signed for the safety, to block the safety, but did not, get their block, and then he's free to make the tackle. But those kind of blocks are the ones that take that 6-yard gain and they make it 46 yards, because if you get that safety, then our guys are able to take it up the field. So we got to do a much better job with that blocking down the field to spring those guys when they do get to that second level.
Scott, hey, it's Jody Dimling again. 2 quick ones. An injury update with Shai. Was he? Is he okay, or it looked like he was hurt pretty bad there?
Yeah. Shai's got a lower body sprain. And we will not be available this week. That's going to be, it remains to be seen how long he'll be out. I would anticipate a couple of weeks probably, and then we'll kind of reevaluate where we are. He got rolled up pretty good in the game there. And, but he was the only one, fortunately for us, the only one that got dinged in that game. We really missed Monty Montgomery in the second half, not having him out there, end of the second quarter, in the second half. He's one of our best playmakers on defense, and not having him out there in that second half, that really hurt us, with his speed and the plays that he's able to make. So we are fortunate at injury front that we came out pretty good.
And defensively, you guys missed, especially early on, you missed a few tackles. Did you correlate that anything to maybe not being able to hit as much or not hitting as much, or is that just guys in technique and having to do their jobs?
No, I think the big factor was really just out of position where we needed to be in order to make those tackles. I don't correlate it not tackling as much. I mean, we tackled about as much as we've always tackled. This preseason, there was the number one. They had a pretty good scheme and pretty good players in space. And when they spread us out, and you guys noticed the wide receivers how wide they were in their splits, and which created a lot of more space in the middle of the field, and some of those benders and those slants that they were hitting, and they're hitting them on the run. And their guys did a good job of avoiding some tackles. We obviously got to tackle better. We got to be more physical coming down on the contact. We're hitting them and falling them off. We got to wrap up. And I anticipate us getting better with that, as we move forward. But I do want to give them a little bit of credit as well. I mean, just some of the things that they were doing offensively there. They're not a bad offense. They're a pretty good offense, and they've proven that all last year.
Hey, Scott, it's Matt McGavick.
HAS 11. How much do you stress to your players about the targeting issue and how they're hitting somebody? Is that something that you revisit this week after what happened to you guys Monday night?
Yeah, and we talk about it quite honestly a lot. About keeping your head up, keeping your head out. I don't know, guys. I mean, you got some big time athletes out there that are flying around trying to make plays, and you're going to have contact every play, and sometimes helmets are going to hit. I don't like it. We don't coach it. It's something that we see throughout the year. I've never seen 4 in one game, 2 on each team. Obviously I don't think they coach it either. But I think when you lower your shoulder to go hit somebody, I mean, sometimes your heads are going to make contact, and but we're obviously stressed to keep our head out of it. One of them was on a block. TP goes to block the guy, and they just hit heads, right on our sideline. I mean, it's tough. I mean, sometimes it's going to happen. We don't like it, but we want our guys to play fast. I mean, so you got to play fast and try to play with great technique, and hopefully we won't have any more of those penalties.
Hey, Scott, this is Matt McGavick with Sports Illustrated. I want to ask a quick question about the play calling. When it was apparent that Ole Miss wasn't going to do what you thought, like blitz coverage, and they were dropping 8, what sort of adjustments did you guys make to your script on the fly, or did you guys just kind of try and stick with that until you made adjustments at halftime?
No, we started making adjustments in the first half. We were trying to find ways, number one, to run the ball on the edges. They had their 3 down linemen, so we were trying to get outside on the edge there. And we had a couple good plays out there. We just got to be more consistent and better with that. And then we also tried to, hit the passes underneath. We're trying to send some guys behind those guys to get them back, and then have guys coming underneath. So as we early in the first half or late in the first half, we tried to hit that, and we got a good drive going on that last drive before halftime. And then when we came out in the second half, our first play was 3 verticals with an under by Marshawn Ford. We hit him and got a nice play, about 15 yards. So we started to settle in. And I think obviously we were trying to do it earlier in the game. And we got a couple of penalties that knocked us back. You're 2nd and 20. So just the way the flow of the game happened there. But yeah, obviously we want to try to do that sooner and make the plays as early as we can to get things going. again, I was proud of our guys to come back and score 24 in the second half. I mean, it was too little too late, but it showed fight. It showed that we're capable of doing it. They had their starter still in the game, the whole game, so, we're capable to hang in there. We just got to have a better start, and we got to sustain that throughout the whole game.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate y'all.